Deep in the humid embrace of the Southeast Asian rainforest, where the air hangs thick with the scent of wet earth and decaying leaves, a shadow moves through the undergrowth, not with the hurried scuttle of prey, but with the deliberate, regal glide of a monarch claiming its throne. This is a world of vibrant greens and dappled sunlight, a cacophony of insect hums and bird calls, yet silence falls like a heavy curtain when the king arrives. Ophiophagus Hannah, the eater of snakes, the longest venomous serpent on the planet, emerges from the gloom, a creature of myth and terror, its scales shimmering like polished obsidian and burnished gold in the filtered light. It is a beast that commands respect not merely through fear, but through an ancient, terrifying grace that has been refined over millions of years of evolution. The King Cobra does not simply exist in this ecosystem, it defines it, apex and architect of the forest floor's hierarchy, a singular force of nature that grows to lengths exceeding 18 feet, a living river of muscle and venom. As the sun climbs higher, penetrating the dense canopy, the heat activates the cold-blooded giant. It tastes the air, its forked tongue flickering out to sample chemical cues, analyzing the invisible landscape of scents. The Jacobson's organ in the roof of its mouth processes this data with the precision of a supercomputer, detecting the faint, musky trail of a rat snake that passed this way hours ago. To the king, the forest is not a visual case, but a map of odors, a trail of breadcrumbs leading to sustenance. Unlike vipers that lie in ambush, the king is an active hunter, a prowler that seeks out its kin with a cannibalistic hunger that sets it apart from almost all other serpents. It moves with a deceptive sluggishness, its head raised slightly above the ground, eyes distinct and sharp, scanning the terrain with a visual acuity that rivals a bird of prey, able to spot movement nearly 300 feet away. This intelligence, this awareness is what strikes fear into the heart of the observer. Looking into the eyes of a king cobra, one does not see the vacant stare of a reptile, but a calculating, assessing gaze from Ray. The trail warms. The scent of the rat snake becomes stronger, fresher. The king accelerates, its long body flowing over roots and rocks with a liquid elegance. Silence its greatest weapon. Ahead, near the hollow of an ancient banyan tree, the prey is unaware. The rat snake, a formidable predator in its own right, is basking in a patch of sunlight, digesting a recent meal. But in this realm, there are no equals. The king approaches, and as it closes the distance, a transformation occurs. The rat snake senses the vibration, the shift in the air, and turns to flee, but it is too late. With a sudden explosive burst of speed, the king rears up, lifting the anterior third of its body off the ground, a towering pillar of death, standing nearly as tall as a man. The famous hood flares, ribs extending to stretch the loose skin of its neck, creating that iconic, terrifying silhouette, a warning flag that screams danger to anything foolish enough to challenge it. A low, deep growl emanates from its throat. Not a hiss, but a resonant rumble caused by tracheal diverticula, a sound unique to the king, like the distant thunder of an approaching storm. The strike, when it comes, is faster than the human eye can follow. It is not a defensive snap, but a calculated offensive maneuver. The king lunges downward, jaws gaping wide, fangs positioned like hypodermic needles. It aims for the neck or back, seeking to pin the other snake. The bite delivers a massive payload of neurotoxic venom, a cocktail designed not to destroy tissue like a viper's, but to shut down the nervous system. Enough venom to kill an elephant or 20 men. It floods the rat snake system, binding to synaptic receptors, severing the lines of communication between the brain and the muscles. The struggle is violent but brief. The victim thrashes, coils winding around the king's body, a desperate attempt to strangle its attacker. But the king is relentless. Its jaws walk over the prey, the venom doing its silent, deadly work. Breath fails, the heart falters, the thrashing slows to a twitch, then stillness. The king waits, patient, until the life has fully ebbed away before beginning the arduous process of swallowing its meal whole. Ingesting a snake nearly its own size is a feat of anatomical engineering. The king's jaws unhinge, independent mandibles working in shifts to pull the carcass into the gullet. Copious amounts of saliva lubricate the passage. The windpipe extends from the floor of the mouth, allowing the king to breathe while its throat is completely blocked. It is a slow, rhythmic process, a macabre dance of consumption that can take hours. Once the meal is inside, the king will not need to hunt again for weeks, perhaps months. It retreats into the shadows, heavy and lethargic, to digest. The stomach acids are potent enough to dissolve bones and scales, leaving nothing but waste. In this vulnerable state, the king seeks refuge, perhaps in a deep burrow or a thicket of bamboo, vanishing once more into the legend of the forest. But the life of a king cobra is not solely defined by the hunt. There is a season when the solitary wanderer seeks a connection. The monsoon rains bring a change to the forest, triggering a primal urge. Males, driven by pheromones, embark on long treks to find a receptive female. When two males cross paths in pursuit of the same mate, a ritualistic combat ensues that is as mesmerizing as it is non-lethal. They do not bite, they do not use their venom. Instead, they engage in a wrestling match of honor. They rise up, intertwining their bodies, attempting to push the other's head to the ground. It is a test of strength and stamina, a dance of dominance where the loser is not killed but merely humiliated, forced to retreat and cede the territory. The victor earns the right to court the female. This courtship is a delicate, dangerous affair. The male must approach the female, who is often larger and potentially cannibalistic herself, with extreme caution, using tactile nudges and soothing movements to quell her predatory instincts. If successful, they mate, a union that ensures the continuation of the royal bloodline. Uniquely among snakes, the female king cobra is a dedicated mother. She does not abandon her eggs to the elements. Instead, she uses her body as a rake, gathering leaves and debris into a large mound, a nest that acts as a natural incubator. Inside this decaying pile, the heat of decomposition keeps the 20 to 40 eggs at the perfect temperature. And then, she does the unthinkable for a reptile. She guards it. For nearly 3 months, she coils atop the mound, a sentinel of pure maternal fury. She does not eat. She rarely drinks. She defends her unborn offspring against wild boars, mongooses, and even humans, attacking with a ferocity that belies her starving state. She is the guardian of the future, sacrificing her own vitality to ensure the next generation survives. Just before the eggs are ready to hatch, driven by an instinct to prevent cannibalizing her own young, she leaves. The hatchlings emerge, perfect miniatures of their parents, born with fully potent venom and the instinct to kill. They disperse into the eye's dangerous world, tiny kings ready to claim their own dominions. The king cobra faces threats that even its venom cannot deter. The encroachment of humanity, the destruction of the rainforest, the fragmentation of habitats. These are enemies against which it has no defense. It is often killed on sight, a victim of fear and misunderstanding. Yet it remains a vital component of the ecosystem, controlling the population of other snakes, including venomous species that pose a greater threat to humans. It is a bioindicator of a healthy forest, a symbol of the wild's raw, untamed power. To lose the king would be to lose the soul of these jungles. As twilight descends, painting the forest in shades of indigo and violet, the king emerges once more from its rest. It slides through the darkened undergrowth, a silent ghost, a reminder that there are still mysteries in this world, still creatures that command our awe and our respect. It moves on, the eternal wanderer, the serpent king, carrying the weight of an ancient lineage into the uncertainty of the night.